And welcome everybody to the final exciting episode. 8 seconds, Josh. 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
There we go.
Yeah.
That is the one.
That was your intro.
That was the intro.
It was a bit blunt.
James Blunt. He's got a good sense of humour. He won't mind me using 8 seconds of that. He'll be all right. Yeah, well, not the news people were expecting on today's episode.
No, not the news I was expecting to be announcing myself, to be honest.
No. It's bittersweet. It's sad, but also happy for the future. But I think we should just go into it. We'll just go.
Yeah. I guess we've had a good run, haven't we? 3.5 years, 170 episodes.
Yeah.
Not including that little interim one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sometimes life sort of catches up with us, doesn't it? And some of our plans don't quite go the way we planned, and yeah, we're having to remake plans.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand?
So, I think it's fair to say that we have given this a good shot. We've given it a go.
100%.
We really enjoyed doing this podcast. I can't speak for Pirate, but for me personally, the last few months, and I think it's become quite clear to some of the emails that we've received that people know that I'm not my usual self on the pod. I haven't been for a while. And I don't want to go into too much detail because I think everyone's entitled to having a personal life and having personal problems and, things going on. But it reached a point for me, there is multiple reasons as to why I decided to step away from the pod. But the main one being I'm not in the right headspace for the pod at the moment, is the best way of putting it. I've got some personal things going on that it's very exhausting and draining, and I'm not putting 100% into the podcast compared to when we were doing it 2.5, 3 years ago. It's only really been like the last 6 months, really. And it's not fair to you, it's not fair to the listeners to carry on doing a podcast where, I haven't used the notebook for months, and I've just been lazily doing research and presenting things, and it's just not fair to carry on pretending that I'm okay inside and everything's fine, and it's not. And I think it's become clear to some people that watch the show or listen to it, because I have received personal messages and emails of being like, are you all right and stuff, and then you kind of get into a habit of being like, yeah, no, I'm fine. And then after a while, it
becomes
gets
exhausting actually kind of go saying the same thing, doesn't it? When you're saying a lie to yourself, really. You're trying to sell it to yourself.
Yeah, and it's bittersweet, like I say, because the best moments of this podcast is when we talk absolute rubbish at the start and we talk absolute rubbish at the end. But it's the bit in the middle of
the actual point of the podcast.
Each episode, it's like, don't get me wrong, we haven't run out of content.
No, I don't think we ever would.
We actually do have a list that we haven't even touched half of the subject. No. So that's not the case. I don't want people to think like, oh no, they've just run out of stuff to talk about. That's not the case whatsoever. I never got around to finishing JFK. So
no,
it's one of those things. It just comes to the point where the actual paranormal stuff is very difficult as well, because I've actually been lying to yourself and the listeners for a while now, in the fact that as I've got older, I really don't believe in ghosts, man. I'm sorry. I know the listeners.
That's no secret, Josh.
I know the listeners believe in the spooky stuff, and I said to you, a lot of people have had spooky experiences. Myself included, I've had some weird things happen, but I've never had a full-on apparition. And as I've got older, I've kind of tried to use logic to be like, oh, well, it was just the wind blowing or something like that. And I've always been on the fence about ghosts and stuff, but I just feel the paranormality chapter for me it's hard to just keep living a lie and being like, oh, well, this week we've got this spooky haunting or this UFO and everything, and it's like deep down inside I'm like,
zero.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not a good story, but like, it's it is sad that I've had to step away from it. And then when we had a discussion about it, and you decided that if I was to leave the pod, that you didn't want to continue
on my own, no.
Paranormality on your own, or
it's a duo thing.
So yeah, we had a discussion about it, and it's fair to say we both have things that we need to sort out in life.
Both got stuff going on in life, and like I said to you when we discussed it, like I'm not as into it as I once was as well. I'm not checking our analytics every day like I used to. You know, seeing how many downloads we got. I'm not checking YouTube, see how many views we've got, all that sort of thing. I got lazy in my editing process. Quite often you'll find me on a Saturday morning rushing, trying to get things online published. I used to have it scheduled up weeks in advance, and now it's kind of all last minute. And like you said, the passion, I guess, for doing it has started waning over this last 6 months. With your issues and my issues, it's probably about time we just knock it on the head for a while. And what we decided, because we don't want to leave you guys completely in the dark, or you listeners at home, is like me and Josh really do, like I say, love the podcast. We enjoy being in the room. We enjoy having the conversation and all that. It's great. It is just sort of the research side of things and the paranormal thing for Josh. But what we thought was, if we can have a break, I don't know how long. It might be 6 weeks. It might be 6 months. It might be a year. I don't know. Largely depending on circumstances. But we feel positive that we might come back with another podcast in the future, not topical like this one, but just like we mentioned the other week, saying grumpy old men or something like we call it, pure chaos of beans or something like that. I don't know.
Something a bit more loose.
It's just going to be us just having our stupid chats and
more rants.
Yeah, more rants, like that sort of thing. So when we come back, if that's what you tune in for nowadays, I would imagine that like a lot of the listeners that are still with us after 3.5 years love our banter. That's the main part of it, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
So if and when we do come back, it will be a podcast like that, and we will advertise it on this podcast, so make sure you subscribed or you've pressed the plus button, so when we're ready to roll, hopefully we've got a few people that are still interested in listening to us and will come and follow us.
And this will hopefully still be available.
I'm going to try and keep this available. I don't know in what capacity. I might have to drop it down to like a free thing, so we won't have like adverts and stuff like that on there. I don't know. But I'll try and keep it online forever.
Because it's fun to go back and listen and look at the fun stuff that we've done. Like even the smorgasbord of foods and things that we did was just random. Quality. It was fun, and those were the times that I'll look back and.
What were some of your favourite moments? Go on, why not?
Definitely the smorgasbord of food was incredible, because it was just so random. I liked the one where I tried to trick you with mind tricks.
Oh yeah.
And it completely failed.
Subliminal messages.
Subliminal messages. I don't know why, but goblins always stands out to me because it was just so stupid about goblins can't count to 3 and they're scared of colanders and things like that. I really liked your Dybbuk box one that you did.
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
For me personally, I thought that was my favourite one that you ever covered was the Dybbuk box.
No, I don't mean episodes.
Good.
I just mean moments. What were your favourite moments? Like smelling salts was one of my favourite moments.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Putting on the blindfold and the earphones and trying to connect with aliens.
Yeah.
While you were whispering into the microphone.
I actually forgot about that one. That was a really good one. When my cousin flew over from America.
That was quite funny.
Yeah.
Tucker Harwood.
Yeah, that was quite funny. We've had some good moments, haven't we? Even Truman and
we've had some quality guests as well, haven't we?
Yeah,
some of them.
Truman was awesome. My friend Sam, when we did the wrestling conspiracy episode, I thought that was an interesting dynamic from someone like you that doesn't know the background of like wrestling and stuff like that.
And the lingo as well.
That was
learning a lot about the lingo in that episode.
I really liked that. If I can just put in a cheap plug, because this is actually quite hilarious. Our friend Moisley J and our friend Sam, who's on the pod.
Both been mentioned on the pod before now, yeah.
They do their own podcast called Hidden Gem Hunters, which they just look at old wrestling matches and pay-per-views and things, and they just find the hidden gems, and they rate matches, and it's uncensored, it's unfiltered.
They're very passionate about wrestling.
Very passionate, and Jax comes out with some real edgy stuff. So I want to just put a cheap plug in there. But what is hilarious is the fact that I got a message from Jack a few days ago saying, "Hey man, hope you're all good. We've actually plugged your podcast on our show." So literally,
we're going to return the favour on the very last show.
Yeah. So we're returning the favour, which also leads to one of the other little reasons as to why I got pod fade so hard, and we spoke about this last week. So this is a beautiful segue into it. So check out Hidden Gem Hunters, because they are one of the underdogs of podcasting, and to me that is what podcasting is about, is having people that do it for the passion, they do it for the love of what they enjoy and what brings them happiness. And for my friends, wrestling really brings them happiness, and we have to support the underdogs, because one of the little reasons why I got pod fade, and I'd
say it's quite a major reason, to be fair.
One of the major things, is I've spoken about it before on our pod. I was a big podcast guy. I loved it. When we first started this pod...
Oh, you were a massive podcast fan, yeah.
We had inspiration. I was listening to all kinds, and I was learning stuff and X, Y, Z. And the last...
Fairness, there were like half the amount of podcasts out there when we first started, and when you were really proper into your pods as well. So.
Yeah, man. And I had a list of maybe 10 podcasts that every week a new episode would come out, I would download it and I would find time to listen to it, and I absolutely loved it. One of them being Bad Friends. It's absolutely hilarious if you haven't checked it out. But some of the podcasts I listen to, there's celebrities involved, but they have kind of almost earned my respect in a way, because you've got people like Joe Rogan, who started off interviewing people from his sofa. Yeah. And I know he's the biggest podcast of all time.
He's been going the longest time now, hasn't he? Really?
Going the longest, and mad respect to Joe. Whether you like his podcast or you don't listen, that's not the point. He's worked himself up from the bottom, literally from the sofa to the studio. And it's the same with a couple of other podcasts I listen to, like even Bad Friends into some respects. I know they were famous comedians before, but that podcast started and it just took off, and that's fine. But in recent years, I have noticed personally, from listening to podcasts and slowly getting fed up with podcasts, and this could be my conspiracy theory for today, my last conspiracy theory.
Could be.
I feel like Hollywood is dying. like people aren't going to the cinema anymore. Really, they're not watching these big blockbusters. Movies are actually losing money. Like companies are spending hundreds of millions. Like it's in the record books. Everybody has seen Disney produce flop after flop, where they're producing movies for 300 million, and they're bringing in 20, 30 million globally. So they're always losing money. And with Hollywood dying, I feel like podcasting, where it's taken off, and all these people that have worked their way up, other celebrities aren't making money from blockbuster films anymore. They're not doing Hollywood, and they have to find a way of making money, which I understand.
Podcasts,
They are all going on podcasts, starting their own podcasts and things. And it's almost like the people at the top are just getting more money, more publicity, and podcasting isn't what it used to be.
No, it's not.
And the beauty in which I love podcasts is sticking one on, and it could be, I always forget the name of it, but there's two Irish lads, and it's I think it's something the bomb, something like that. But they are absolutely hilarious. Another one, Have a Word, a bunch of lads from up north.
Right.
It's just mates having a laugh and everything, and they're the underdogs that I'm talking about. That's what podcasting is to me. Is they're making you laugh. They're not really big celebrities. They're just starting to get known, and it's really disheartening to me that people like us and people like them are constantly having to battle to achieve our dreams and to make a living out of what we love, which is podcasting. But you've got these celebrities that instantly they get sponsorships, they get deals, they get money, they get advertisement, they get everything thrown at them. And it's like the millionaires are making more millions and more millions, and they're not putting in that hard work like everyone else has.
That's capitalism, baby.
And because of the capitalism in podcasts that I'm seeing more and more of, it really did just put me off of podcasts, and I haven't listened to a podcast for months and months now.
I haven't. No, I've not investigated any new ones. The thing that, just to expand on what you're saying, the thing that disheartens me about podcasts now is the algorithms that like Spotify and Apple Pods and stuff like that are becoming more and more like YouTube. You have to have a successful podcast first before it'll push it.
Yeah.
You know, you can't go on there and find one of these small podcasts, particularly on like Apple podcasts. It's impossible to find one. Yeah. It's all like front to back page, celebrity. Mm-hmm. This one, new for you, our top picks and all that sort of thing. It's all BBC.
Yeah.
Funded, like, you know, and it is hard for the little guy now.
Yeah. And it's like the analogy I used for podcasting nowadays is like the celebrities at the top of the mountain, and they're just throwing boulders and rocks down at the people that are on like a tandem bicycle, like me and you are on a tandem bicycle, and everything's going up. We're getting the downloads, we're getting the feedback, and we're going uphill. And meanwhile, you just get producers from the BBC and all these people just throwing rocks. Like, no, stay down there. We don't want you to make it big. We don't want you to make something of yourselves.
You're threatening our legitimacy.
Yeah, and Mama didn't raise no quitter, but I have to quit on this one. Like, I can't, for my own mental health and stuff, I can't do it anymore, man. Like it's so upsetting to me that podcasting has, and it's just not what it used to be. And the other thing was, I noticed, I think it was a few weeks ago, when there was the American Podcast Awards.
All right. Yeah.
And not a single, like, Joe Rogan is the biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah.
He didn't have any nominations.
At all.
All
right.
You had Bad Friends, not a single nomination.
Right.
Some of the podcasts that I was listening to that, like I say, have worked their way up within the space of 3, 4, 5 years, none of them were nominated. Everyone that was nominated and everyone that won an award were all these people that have had a podcast for barely a year, if not just over a year, and they have
massive
all the
backing.
They've got everything in place already.
Yeah.
And they've got a whole team behind them where they're just like, oh, do you fancy like interviewing Ricky Gervais this week? And it's like, yeah, who's going to say no to that? Do you know what I mean? Like one of the biggest comedians in the world. That's just an example. I'm not specifically targeting any podcast out there. But he'll be like, oh, Michael Bay, do you want to interview him? And it's like, yeah, Steven Spielberg, yeah. How are people like us supposed to compete?
Yeah, you write email after email after email to these people.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to come on our pod? Don't even get a response.
We sent an email to a woman, we won't say her name for legal reasons, who is in the same field as us, and we thought, oh, maybe she'd like to come on as a guest because it's all,
speaker, yeah,
you know. Yeah, we were met with an email of asking us, if we're willing to part ways with $8,000 to have her on the show. Now, if we had advertisements and stuff, that might be worth doing. But for underdogs, we can't afford $8,000.
No, we can't afford $8,000. And to be honest, like, I mean, it's not like she was an A-lister.
No,
she's not even going to like increase our downloads for 1 week by that significant amount to pay £8,000 for. Like, it's ridiculous. Isn't it?
The only person that could have saved this pod, and he doesn't even know it, is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
he's the only person that could have saved this pod.
Yeah.
Because he is the man that just does stuff out of the kindness of his heart. He doesn't charge money. He just does it out of the kindness of his heart, and people like that we need more of.
Yeah, we do. So if this podcast starts back up again in the future, and Paranormality UK comes back as you know, as it is, as the way you love us, it's probably because Keanu has found out about our pod and gone, guys, you got to start the pod up again.
They killed my dog.
Do it for me. Do it for my dog.
And I stand by the fact that John Wick is one of the greatest action movies of all time.
Oh, it is.
I stand by it. If you haven't seen it, craziness that you haven't seen it. Watch it.
In fairness, you've not seen Avatar.
No, I have not seen Avatar. No. I keep being told about Avatar.
The second one's not so great.
Even my uncle at Christmas was shocked to find that I haven't seen Avatar. And he's not even a sci-fi guy. He's a more like down to earth person, and even he was like, Avatar's one of the greatest films I've ever seen. I was like, well, if it's coming from him,
it is a really
probably
good
is worth
film.
watching.
Really good. I wouldn't say the second one is half as good. There's nowhere near, and the third one's out of the cinema at the moment. I'm not bothering. But yeah, the original Avatar. Yeah. Anyway, I have not quite given up on this pod yet.
He's there. He's hanging in.
Episode starts at 22 minutes 29 seconds.
Yeah. You're the cat in the poster. Hang in there, baby.
Hang in there. Yeah, I am that cat. Right. So the other week, you asked me if I had any intention of covering the Battle of Los Angeles. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But I will. I will, because it relates to the story that I do want to talk about today. So the Battle of Los Angeles, what happened? It was early morning, February 25th, 1942. After a Japanese submarine shelling near Santa Barbara, the air raid sirens blared. Thousands of anti-aircraft rounds were fired at an unidentified object over the city. The outcome was the barrage of gunfire lasted for over an hour, causing ground damage, but no enemy planes were found, and no bombs fell. Strange, but they were shooting at something. There were 5 civilian casualties, died from related incidents, heart attacks and accidents, just collateral damage, basically. No other fatalities. Eyewitnesses claim that many described a large glowing object that hovered, moved erratically, and seemed unaffected by the artillery, suggesting something non-conventional. There was a photo that was taken and published in the Los Angeles Times, showing searchlights converging on a disc-like shape, interpreted by UFO believers as an alien craft. However, there is evidence that the photo was heavily retouched by the newspaper. Common practice for contrast and making the original image much less distinct.
This is why I have trust issues.
So the official explanation is initial theories range from a weather balloon, most accepted, maybe, to enemy aircraft, with military leaders offering conflicting statements. Therefore, it was never actually concluded to be of human origin or of extraterrestrial origin. No one really knows.
Interesting.
But as usual, the Americans fired thousands of rounds at it and hit nothing.
You goddamn right we did. And I'd shoot 1,000 more clouds if it kept our country safe.
Now, this brings me to what I think is possibly the far more interesting story. Now, this is quite possibly the oldest recorded, documented UFO phenomenon. And this is recorded in 1665 in Stralsund, Germany. Can you think of a UFO case older than that?
No, because the last one that I heard about that was old, was it Betty and Barney?
1965, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is like
300 years earlier, yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So, in April of 1665, residents of the coastal city of Stralsund witnessed something in the sky that was so strange it was recording in writing and illustrated very soon after. It took place long before aeroplanes, balloons and modern technology existed. The event was observed by many people, including fishermen, sailors and townsfolk, as it unfolded over several hours. This is known as the Battle of Stralsund.
That has more of a ring to it than Battle of,
The first witnesses were fishermen who were out on the Baltic Sea in the early morning. They reported seeing unusual objects rising out of the water and moving upwards into the sky. These objects were disguised as round, elongated and plate-like in shape. Now, bearing in mind, again, this is 300 years before the phrase flying saucer.
Yeah.
Some accounts say they appeared dark, while others described them as faintly luminous. What stood out most was the way the objects moved with speed, control, and apparent purpose. It was described as like a dogfight in the sky. So, hence the Battle of Stralsund. It wasn't. There was no conflict between the people on the ground. It was all aerial phenomena. Okay, as if by two different factions of UFOs, you know, the ones came out of the water to engage something that might have been approaching from the air or something like that. I don't really know. No one really knows because it's 300 years ago, 400 years ago. As the phenomenon continued, more people on shore began to watch. Witnesses described the objects gathering in the sky and moving back and forth as if interacting with one another. Some accounts compare the scene to a battle with objects colliding, separating and manoeuvring in complex patterns. The movement was not random, did not resemble clouds, birds, or known atmospheric effects. According to reports, the activity moved closer to the city itself. At one point, a large dark object was seen hovering above St. Nicholas Church, a prominent landmark in Stralsund. After remaining stationary for a period of time, the object was said to slowly fade or would just vanish from view. Shortly afterward, the other objects also disappeared and the sky returned to normal. What makes this case especially important is that it was documented almost immediately. A printed broadsheet was published in Leipzig later that same year describing the event in detail. The publication included engravings showing the strange objects in the sky above the sea and the city. These images were created based on eyewitness descriptions and were meant to visually explain what people had seen. The drawings still exist today and can be viewed in the museum collections and public archives in Germany. At the time, the event was not interpreted as extraterrestrial in nature. In the 17th century, unexplained events in the sky were often viewed as religious signs or warnings or omens.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, it's God, yeah. The high beings descended from the heavens on the dragon made of fire. And,
Angels.
You know, all that sort. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Europe was experiencing war, disease, and political instability at the time. Many believed the phenomenon carried symbolic meaning. Even so, descriptions themselves remain strikingly detailed and physical rather than symbolic. Now, it's important to note that around about the same time, in Nuremberg, a very similar thing was witnessed. But because Nuremberg being a much bigger city, much more there's a lot more social things to report on. It didn't make the broadsheets. It didn't make the front pages or anything. It just kind of got swept under the rug, really. But because Stralsund is just a small fishing community, mate, this was the story of the century at Stralsund.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, so honestly, like, it was documented in so many ways. People obviously wrote pages and newspapers about it. Artists would come and draw pictures based on witness testimonies. Some of them, I've seen them. Some of the pictures are literally just like a beach, you know, the fishermen boats out on the water and stuff, and maybe a bit of city, and you just see lights in the sky. You know, it actually looks like sort of a realistic depiction. And some of them are a bit more artistic, where they're literally painting like galleons riding the clouds as though they're waves, you know, and firing cannons at each other and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more creative and artistic. But I mean, this was such a phenomenon that it really did actually go down in the history books as possibly one of the very first UFO encounters that anywhere.
And that's very poetic, because we started episode 1 with the Roswell UFO.
Yeah.
And now we're ending the pod with the oldest UFO ever recorded. I like that. It's come full circle. That's interesting. I wouldn't want to be the fisherman that caught the biggest fish that day, because no one would have cared.
No.
So you caught a massive tuna and just no one gives a crap.
But interesting that it's noted that it's from the Baltic Sea, and there is the Baltic Sea anomaly. That's that UFO shape at the bottom of the sea. It could be from the same fleet of UFOs. Who knows?
A lot of people believe in the UFO theory of them being underwater rather than space. Like cities.
It makes sense. Because we are the intelligent species on the planet. We occupy land. Where's the easiest place to hide where we're not going to find you? Underwater.
Yeah. Yeah. I've said it before, it doesn't make sense that you can travel light years and then crash on Earth. It doesn't make sense.
Well, spark plugs blow, don't they? You know.
So if I was to believe in full-on aliens, I think under the water would make more sense than travelling through space, because we still don't know how space works.
No.
Really, there's so much going on in space.
Here's a mind bender for you.
Yeah.
Right. Just to finish the series on. Right. Here's a new take on it. There's no such thing as the speed of light.
I suppose they do just tell us the speed of light is the fastest thing, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's 300,000 kilometres per second.
Yeah.
Is what's known as the speed of light. But light, technically, experiences no time. So when light is produced at the sun, it's instantly absorbed from the point of view of the light. Now, it may travel for minutes, days, years, billions of years, but to that light, it's all over in an instant, because of space-time. It's space and time are one and the same thing, and when light travels, because it has no mass, it doesn't experience space or time, so everything is instant. So the speed of light doesn't actually exist. It's the universal constant speed. You can't get faster than it, but it shouldn't really be called the speed of light.
It'd just be called the light.
just the universal constant, the universal maximum, I guess.
That is an interesting.
But there you
theory.
go. There's something to blow your mind.
The thing that I learnt on this pod that nothing has blown my mind since is the whole idea that if aliens were looking at Earth and they're 200 million light years or whatever it is, they would
see dinosaurs.
Yeah, they wouldn't see us.
No, not at all.
It would be Earth in the past. Yeah. And that just blows my mind. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The other thing was I found out that sharks date back
hundreds of millions of years. Yeah, older than dinosaurs.
And there's certain, is it trees as well? There's certain trees that are like millions of years old. We'll never find out these answers. No. And if they're under the Sphinx's foot or in the pyramids, we're not going to get them either.
Mate, if they break that open, I'll bring the podcast back for one episode.
Maybe we should do that. We should for specials. If you know
just
what I mean.
say
like,
we'll do specials in the future.
Yeah.
But it's going to be audio only. I'm not doing YouTube anymore. I can't be doing a YouTube now.
Yeah, I kind of forget that the cameras are here.
I do these days until I got to edit it.
Yeah. It's odd, isn't it? I said from the start, we don't really need cameras. I'm not really keen on
No,
it.
you never wanted to do YouTube. It was my idea, and now I regret it completely. So yeah, if we come back with another podcast, it's not going to be on YouTube. I'm sorry, people.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
You'll have to imagine our pretty faces getting older.
I would like to thank the listeners, though. I think if it wasn't for the listeners, we wouldn't have a show. Which is obviously
I mean we've done fairly well at it, really, considering the obstacles that we've come up against.
Yeah, man. And when we were going through some hard times and stuff, like when we came back from the break and I had my little sassy 3 weeks or whatever, and I was still a little bit like, I don't know, I've got a bit of pod fade. I don't know if I want. It was actually the listeners and the emails and the lovely messages and the support that we got from you guys that actually kept me going. That I realised at that moment, it wasn't for me, it wasn't for you, it was for the listeners.
It's always been the listeners that keep me going. I love reading your emails. I love I don't necessarily always respond or react to them, because sometimes we get so many. But I always loved reading through the comments, YouTube and Spotify. We're getting more and more every week. It almost seems like that anyway. I can't keep up, but yeah, I mean, huge thanks to everybody that's followed us over the last 3.5 years. Even if you've only been here for a couple of weeks, you know, you've still got 170 episodes. You can go and catch up on everything that we've been doing for the last 3 years, and I hope you enjoy it. Some are better than others.
I don't know if it's me being biased, but I honestly don't think there's that many bad episodes.
No, there weren't too. There was a couple of clangers, but yeah, not too many bad. And some of the moments, that's what I mean. Like that, the thing that I had to censor, that you literally pointed to all 3 cameras and told me, edit that out, edit that out, edit that out.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to reveal what that was about.
No. I mean,
but in the new podcast, there won't be censoring. I am not going through editing out all the swear words. And in fact, to end this podcast, this one has been clean up till fucking now.
Yeah. End it with a bang. I do think we need to, like in the future, if we come back with another one, it needs to be uncensored and unfiltered.
Yeah, it should just be us, man.
Yeah.
That's I think, because one of the things that tongue twists me up the most is trying to think of how I want to put things across without like swearing and stuff. Like, because we're farmers. If you know anything about farmers have potty mouths.
Every other sentence is an F word.
Yeah. So we do quite well to keep the Fs off of this podcast.
Yeah, we do really well considering like when we're at work and stuff, it is like effing this and effing that. And yeah, so we do really well. But it's been a wild ride, man. It has been good. I look back on it with fond memories. It's a little bit sad. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit sad it's coming to an end. But this is just this chapter. The Paranormality chapter is what's coming to an end. And
yeah, we're still going to be Josh and Pirate if we come back with a new podcast, and we'll tell you what it's going to be called. We'll tell you when it's coming out and everything. Just make sure you subscribe to this one so you know when we put that advert out that you know where to look.
Yeah, it's just it's just a sign of the times. I think it was Harry Styles that said it. Just
what, watermelon sugar?
No, he said. Just stop your crying. It's a sign of the times, and that's exactly it. There's no need to cry. Everything will work out. Everything will be fine. It's just the sign of the times. If these celebrities didn't just keep taking everything that we enjoy, it's the same with cryptocurrency, isn't it? Yeah, it's not just podcasting. Yeah. Like cryptocurrency was a way of kind of going in the shadows behind the government.
Yeah, earn some money on the background.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the banks got hold of it and went, oh, no, we want that.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. The government are like, oh, we're going to bring out our own cryptocurrency. It's like everything nice. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
This is literally why we can't have nice things. But no, it's been a lovely wild ride. And if you'd like to do something very nice for me and Pirate, it would be lovely to get some emails. Just tell us your favourite episodes and your favourite moments from the pod. And I do have a message from Polar Bear. So for those that don't know, because we might just have people that have only just tuned in for the last few weeks.
Yeah. Polar Bear and Penguin are our two right-hand men.
Yeah.
One's tech support, one's more sort of graphic design and merch.
Yeah, and they really helped us when we had that first kind of slump that we didn't really know how to carry on with just the two of us, and we needed a little bit of help. They just rose to the occasion.
They did.
And
they were our rock.
They never asked for anything in return. They just did it out of the kindness of their hearts, and they are two of the most genuine, kind people that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting and having in our lives. Even
huge thanks to them, because we wouldn't have got anywhere. I think after the first year, we were sort of adrift in a deep ocean.
Yeah. And even with Polar Bear, I will reveal, I think we've done it before, Elliot, our good friend Elliot, has written a message for both of us.
Elliot and Simon.
And yes, Penguin, Polar Bear, Elliot and Simon, great guys, fantastic. And Elliot has written in and said, Paranormality UK had me hooked from the first listen, and to be invited to work for these guys doing merch and socials was an absolute honour. Fast forward to today, I'm able to call these two dudes my friends, and it means a lot. It's been a lot of laughs, a lot of rants by Josh, and it will be missed. I hope it goes out with a bang. To Josh and Pirate and to Penguin, I love you guys. This Polar Bear will be a sad one, but good luck for the future. Big love to you both. Now I'm off in my car. And he did say, if you don't read it out as car, I'll be upset.
Because he's from up north.
He's up north. I always forget where he's from. Well, I don't want to say on the pod. But yeah, I always forget. And whenever I hear his accent, I'm like, that's such a cool accent.
It is.
He doesn't think it is. No, I imagine no one up north thinks that their accent is
No,
cool.
I think it's quintessentially British, though, isn't it? That northern accent is cool. I love it. And yeah, I love you, Elliot, and I love you, Simon. Thanks for all your help on it. Oh, again, I'm so emotional now.
Yeah.
It's just been... Yeah, been an amazing experience over the last 3.5 years. All the people we've met, the people that we've talked to, people like our Patreons and stuff. I will be closing down a Patreon as well. I'm not going to be charging you for nothing.
You get your money back.
But yeah, like people who contributed to that as well. You know, like Keith Egerton, who regularly would write in, giving ideas for episodes and stuff like that. Still know what the guy looks like.
Yeah.
The only picture I've ever seen of him, he's wearing a Michael Myers mask. So, that was one of the most epic pictures I've ever been sent. So, Samurai Jesus t-shirt and all,
Yeah, and we've definitely had some real loyal listeners that have stuck by us. In recent months, I don't know how long it's been going on. Old Punky Smurfette, she's been real cool.
Yeah.
But there's been a few people that are always contributing, but all in all, we must have some real awesome listeners at the fact that every week we were still able to get thousands of downloads.
Yeah.
So this does expand to every single person that downloaded even one episode or sent one email. People wrote in with their own spooky stories and things, and from the bottom of my heart and from both of us, thank you so much, because it really does mean the world that you guys took time out of your day to listen to us and have a laugh and have a listen. And I know that you've learnt some things, mainly from Pirate, because my research was always all over the place.
Let's face it, people don't listen to this podcast for the facts these days.
No, that's true. And I was always getting things wrong all the time. I was coming out with disclaimers saying, "Oh, that thing I mentioned last week's not true. My sources were failed." One time, even actual research, Wikipedia messed me up and got it wrong. The Titanic one.
Yeah, the Titanic gave the wrong
That made
price for it.
That made me have egg on my face, didn't it? That was unreal. Couldn't believe it. But no, it's been a great journey, and thank you everyone. And yeah, don't cry for me, Argentina. That's what they say. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. Well, before we go, do you want to give me a paranormality scale for Stralsund? It's got to be done.
Do you know what? For a moment, I thought this is going to be amazing, because I thought for a second, should we put the whole podcast to the scale, the Paranormality scale?
We should do, shouldn't we? Really?
But the fact
And
that
then
you
I
went
said Stralsund.
I was like, oh yeah.
1 out of 10.
Okay, for Stralsund.
Come on, earliest known UFO.
I'm going to go high. Why not? Give it a 9.
Yeah.
Give it a 9.
Awesome, why not? Yeah, 9 out of 10. I'm going to go
Fact.
9.5 out of 10, just because it's the last one.
Because it's the last one, I'm going to be awkward. I'm going to give it a 9.125.
Cool. I'm not even going to work out the average, because I don't have to anymore.
And for the whole scale of the podcast, this is going to be an exclusive. I'm giving it a 10. From the bottom of my heart.
The only 10.
From me to you, to the listeners.
10.
It's the listeners that get a 10.
Yeah.
Never, ever has it been done before. Because there's always room for improvement. But
Oh,
our
there is
listeners,
with the pod, but our listeners are just
man.
perfect.
Perfect 10.
Absolute perfect.
Perfect 10 for the listeners. And that's what I'm going to give it on a scale. The actual podcast, 9.9. The listeners beat the podcast, I think.
Slightly.
Just from
slightly,
the few episodes we had. But all in all, great experience.
And those perfect listeners want to go and buy a piece of merchandise from Paranormality memorabilia while the shop is still open. Well, I've not got any plans to close the shop, but I couldn't imagine many people are going to be checking it out when we don't have episodes going out every week.
That might be worth something in 20 years.
Yeah, who knows? They might be collectible items soon.
Yeah, don't knock it. I bought a car with my Pokemon cards.
Yeah,
So
you never know when it's going to be worth something.
Collectors, it's all the rage now.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. Thank you to everyone.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only person with the Alien in the Cornfield T-shirt in existence.
That'd be worth something. You hold on to that.
Might be. Who knows?
Yes.
And anyway, if you've got any complaints, ring in 012121.
Yeah.
Comments in the comment section. Emails to the place that we've always sent. If you always sent them to, you might not get a response. But still send them in.
Yeah.
And until we start a new podcast.
Yeah. To the future. Yes.
I've been Pirate.
I've been Josh.
This has been Paranormality UK. Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. There we go.